Welcome YouTube, Quan here. Listen, I want you to check this out real quick. Something I've been speaking about for a while now. Especially ever since I seen the movie. I don't know if you all got a chance to see the movie on Netflix. I think it's Leave the World Behind. I think there was a lot of clues in that movie. But I want you to check this out, and then I'll let you know. I'll comment on it on the back end. Check it out.
The buyer of over 600 acres in Florida, 38 parcels, over $100 million worth of value. Think about how big of a deal that is. Think about how big of a purchase that is. You have to ask yourself, what are the odds? Mark Zuckerberg was discovered as being someone building out a state-of-the-art bunker.
The Facebook founder is creating a compound which also features a doomsday bunker.
Some argue it's upwards of $270 million, including the compound, the land, everything collectively, well over 200 million. Some say it's over 400 million, right? But you look at what they're both doing. Then you look at Sam Altman. He just bought a massive parcel in Big Sur, California, where he could land his jet in the event things go down. You have Peter Thiel building out a massive spread in New Zealand. You have all of these tech billionaires, these executives, these really wealthy and powerful people, all doing the same thing at the same time. What are the odds? They don't have the avionics, so they can fly in the event of an EMP attack. Right? What are the odds of all this happening?
What are the odds, right? I mean, all these billionaires buying all this land, bunkers. What are they preparing for? Are they going to leave us behind?
Let's say it's only 1%, 2%. That's extremely high, right? That's extremely high. And given the fact that we have a lot of conflict that's happening overseas, you're seeing all these different situations that are unfolding. It seems like every week another breaking story is happening. We might see something really big over the next 18 months. In this video, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you what they're doing and what you can do to prepare in your own way. Please.
So this is not a scare tactic. So I'm not bringing this to scare anybody or to make you feel as if life is coming to an end. This is more of an awareness. We must be aware of what's going on around us so that we can make the right choices when it comes to our family and ultimately our existence. Of course, life isn't just about money, but as you can tell by these billionaires, they're making it about money because they can afford to build shelters just in case something catastrophic happened in this country. So we must just be aware.
Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate other people about what's going on in the U.S. economy. And today's video is sponsored by Genesis Gold Group. If you're interested in converting your 401k or IRA into a retirement account backed by precious metals, or learning more about investing in gold and silver, you can call 1-800-200-GOLD or click the link in the description just below this video. More information on that in just a little bit. Take a look at this. So 600 acres across 38 parcels of land in and around Hawaii. NPR revealed on Wednesday that the buyer behind the land purchases was Benioff, who amassed a...
Benioff, who is the CEO of Salesforce, very rich, wealthy man. 600 acres, right? Spent millions. Meanwhile, in this country, you have so many people that's starving each day. You could take some of that money and feed the whole state of New York, right? But why would they do that? They don't care. They don't care about the me, you. It's really about self-preservation. So we must also have that same mindset. How can we preserve? Let's continue.
A $10.5 billion fortune, according to Forbes, as the co-founder and chief of San Francisco-based Salesforce, one of the world's largest software companies that owns popular business messaging app Slack. Benioff has reportedly made these purchases through at least 6 LLCs, all with the same mailing address in San Fran, to a nonprofit, and one's a nonprofit. Though none of the documentation has Benioff's name on it, NPR says he does not dispute he owns the acreage, about 25 of which are at beach resorts. Unreal. And they're also doing this. They're buying islands and building secret bunkers.
I'd like to buy an island. No, I wouldn't. Secret bunkers. Buying islands in secret bunkers. I'm telling y'all, pay attention. Now, we can get scared or we can take action. So I think we should lean on the side of taking action. I can't tell you what your action should be. I know one of the things that I would do is I get closer to family and friends, right? I would figure out how we can pool our resources. One of the things that I've always spoken about is the ability to pool our resources. What I know is that the rich, they find a way to collaborate. The poor find a way to compete against each other. So why are we competing against each other? We must also figure out a way to collaborate. Let's continue.
But why? This came out yesterday. So numerous billionaires, including Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Oprah, Branson, Page, have bought large chunks of land on islands. What's even more surprising is that many such properties have underground tunnels leading to bunkers-like structures. For instance, Zuckerberg is building a $100 million bunker beneath his under construction. I mean, they're saying that it's estimating it at $400 million after construction costs. $400 million. In an interview, LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman also revealed that nearly half of his billionaire friends from Silicon Valley have either some sort of hideaway or are working on one. Half. But why are the ultra-rich buying islands, buying bunkers? Don't they already live in some of the world's most posh and protected homes? Some conspiracy theorists suggest that there is something that these billionaires know, something bad that could happen in 2024. Now, am I saying that something bad is going to happen in 2024? No, but I am saying that if you look at the...
So I don't think it's going to happen in 2024 because the bunkers are just being built now, most of these bunkers. I think if something is going to happen, we're looking at maybe 2 to 3 years out, right? They're preparing for maybe a 2026, 27, up to 2030 catastrophic event. I keep messing up the word, catastrophic event. And so I think we should look more towards those years, but not say that we shouldn't prepare for it now.
State of the world has never been, where we're at least over the last several decades. And the amount of money and power that they've accumulated over the last couple of years is unmatched. A lot of them have sold stock at the top of the market. They're sitting on billions and billions and billions of dry powder. They're looking at where the world's going. It's the 99%, the middle class, getting completely eroded. And you're basically having, a class of, they call it, the words in which they use are peasants. And then they have the top, the have yachts and then the have nots, right? If things really do go down and basically the 99% can barely afford to feed themselves, who are they going to be going after? Who are they going to be targeting? Possibly the top 1% or the top 0.001%, right? So, I mean, there's a reason for this. And when you just look at, the search volume on Google Trends for the word EMP, this is starting in March. March is only 4 days in, but you see it's like, it's parabolic. It's a parabolic chart for EMP, for people searching for, EMP and, talking about all these different things. So you look at this and then you see what they're saying here. So how are things going with the world's very normal, wealthy elite? Well, they're perhaps more obsessed than ever with building invariably absurd doomsday shelters that come tricked out with every conceivable gizmo you would need to survive the apocalypse, or to at least keep out any rebellious peasants. Given the kind of money involved, the people building these shelters aren't your ordinary doomsday preppers. They're commissioned by guys like Billionaire and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who reportedly is building a $100 million underground island bunker of his own. And he may just be one billionaire to make the headline for his apocalypse planning, but take it from the guys that build these things, he's not alone, and the business is booming. And this is coming from someone from Atlas Survival Shelters. I actually had them on the podcast a couple weeks ago, where they sell, bunkers, 2 to 400K range. But it's, they're building them for like the top elite. And you see all these, elite doing this now, right? It's really, really shocking. And at the same time.
So as you can see, things are about to happen. I will do my best to bring information on things that we can do to combat all the changes that's going to affect us in the coming years. Let me continue to hear what this gentleman has to say further.
You have Billy G buying $113 million spread, another spread in Nebraska about 5-6 weeks ago. Altman, December 2nd, a couple months ago, talking about the apocalypse. And what he said here is that I have gold, potassium iodine, antibiotics, batteries, water, gas masks from Israel Defense Force, and a big...
Water. So I think we should be stockpiling water, as much water as possible. Every time you go to the store, pick up a case. I don't care if you just go there to pick up some gum. You get a case of water. You must understand that what they're talking about now is more nuclear. Okay? So if something nuclear happens, then it's going to be in the air, which is why they're doing the underground bunkers.
Big patch of land, the big star that I can fly to. Potassium iodide may seem like a less obvious choice to keep with you in case of emergency. However, the substance is said to be able to protect people from, this situation, right? And it's only said to help people to a point where preppers are known to stock up on this online. So you think about this. When they're buying gold, they're buying land, they're doing this. I mean, I personally think that that this is something that could possibly happen. And I think that this year, coming up at the end of this year, things could get pretty bumpy here in America. And look at this. So you're reading all these stories of these millionaires buying gold, building bunkers, and you're like, what the heck is going on? And it's a trend that everyone is doing. Rose explained that the reason for the surge in gold purchases is due to the concerns of the devaluation of the dollar and the overall economic collapse. I would also add that banks are looking extremely unstable. You have the BTFP program getting pulled, which is the Bank Term Funding Program, which helps regional banks remain solvent. It's getting pulled on the 11th, right? So you're starting to see a lot of people questioning the entire system. They're questioning banks, questioning the dollar, questioning, safety. They're questioning everything. That was never a conversation at the same level ever in the past, right? They're questioning everything now, and people are getting more, I think, cautious. I think these people are realizing that, hey, we don't have a crystal ball per se, but we have a roadmap, and they are looking at the problems the economy is having right now, whether they're looking at the dollar devaluation or these things called BRIC nations, which are countries banding together to create their own currency backed by gold. So, what do you think about this entire situation? You see them doing what they're doing. They're voting with their dollars. They're buying land. They're buying bunkers. They're even talking about buying old planes. So, for example, a lot of these guys are buying up King Air or older planes that don't have the electronic avionics and keeping one or two older cars built before 1986 in their collection so they'll still function in the event of this EMP. The newness.
Old cars. Now, if you go back to that same movie I referenced earlier, Leave the World Behind. I don't know if you remember the Teslas were driving by themselves and they were just all crashing into each other, right? Because they don't have the technology. They had the technology that can be easily manipulated. Old cars, like the old box Chevys and the cars back in the days that we used to drive, they didn't come with those kind of technology. So a lot of the rich are now going back and buying some of those old cars just in case.
Is shifting from idea of this kaboom to protection against local threats. The real threat is the power grid, which is ironically the plot of Leave the World Behind. In situations like this, sustaining your life is more important as food and water.
Wow, he just referenced Leave the World Behind. I didn't even know it was in there.
Now, speaking of that, you have Mark Zuckerberg. He is building a high quality cattle ranch. And he says it's going to be basically the best meat that money can buy, the best meat in the world. Here he's going as far as feeding these cows 5 to 10,000 pounds of food each year, mainly macadamia trees. And his daughter's helping plant these. It's look at this. So, starting raising cattle at his ranch, my goal is to create some of the highest quality beef in the world, only the best. Then for the world's 6th richest man who is farming Wagyu and Angus cattle, which yields some of the world's most expensive meat. So you have Zuckerberg doing what he's doing, taking basically his own life into his own hands. He's training MMA. He's doing this with meat, with cattle, with farming, survival shelters. He's doing all of these things that you would have never expected someone like, some tech CEO to be undertaking all these projects. Now he's doing it all, right? Why? What do you think about this entire situation? Do you think that maybe there is something that's going to happen over the next 12 to 18 or 24 months? Or do you think that they're looking at the state of the world and they're saying, you know what, in the event that the 99% get into a really, really, really dark situation, they're not going to come target us. And in the event that they did, we would have our own options and we wouldn't really be, a victim to that situation. Do you think that's the reason? Or do you think that they're maybe anticipating, maybe a situation overseas, maybe an EMP, maybe some type of power grid situation that could.
So thanks for tuning in, family. Like and subscribe. I'll be coming with a lot more information on what's going on around us daily. I want to thank This is Johnny Williams. You can go to his page for this great overview and the things that's coming down the pike. Once again, thanks again for tuning in.